can!
It's over!
He's done it again! Unbelievable!
Oh, straight into the roof of the net.
Nice one.
Straight down the middle. So a good performance from both teams here today.
Hi, you're watching Firstpost. I'm Rupha Ramani. Let's get started. What's up with Indian cricket? Is there a growing confusion when it comes to the vision and goal of the national cricket side heading into the future? Afghanistan boycotts tri-series in Pakistan after an attack from the country kills 3 of their young cricketers. Pakistan has remained silent and unfazed during all of it, replacing the country and going about this with no statement. Is our neighbour struggling to separate sports from politics? And the latest blow to India's footballing dreams, Cristiano Ronaldo will not travel to India for that FC Goa game after reports of Messi and Argentina not playing in Kerala. Possibly the question is, are these superstars taking the Indian fandom for granted? All of that heading your way, but first the headlines. Starting with cricket, wicketkeeper batter Rishabh Pant will return to competitive action later this month. Pant will lead India A in the 4-day unofficial series against South Africa starting on the 30th of October. This will be Pant's first assignment since injuring his toe against England in July earlier this year. Sai Sudarshan will be Pant's deputy. Pakistan has sacked one-day captain Mohammad Rizwan and appointed Shaheen Shah Afridi to replace him. Rizwan was appointed the leader in October last year but has failed to make an impact. Under his tenure, Pakistan failed to reach the knockout stages in the Champions Trophy. They also suffered a 2-1 series loss to West Indies right after. Reports say Rizwan was shown the door for pushing religious culture in the dressing room. On to football, Manchester United stunned Liverpool 2-1 in the Premier League. United scored early with a goal from Brian Bumo. Cody Gakpo equalised for the Reds with 12 minutes left in the game. Harry Maguire scored the winner. The loss pushed Liverpool to third in the points table. Arsenal, after a 1-0 win over Fulham, are now the leaders. In news from F1, Red Bull have been slapped with a fine of $58,000 after the US Grand Prix. Video footage revealed a team member tried to tamper with the grid tape of McLaren driver Lando Norris. Dutch driver Max Verstappen won the race to close in the gap for the Drivers' Championship. Norris finished second. Verstappen is now 40 points behind table topper Oscar Piastri. Norris is second with a 14-point gap. And summing it up with chess, American Grandmaster Daniel Naroditsky has tragically passed away at 29. The cause of death hasn't been confirmed yet. Naroditsky became a grandmaster at the age of 18. He spent his teenage years writing chess strategy books. The chess community, including his rivals, mourned his death. India crumbled to an embarrassing loss to Australia in the first rain-curtailed ODI, but a lot of the noise around Indian cricket has been coming from the sidelines, from over the boundary ropes, and everything is leading to a question around what exactly is Indian cricket's plan and vision for this side. Why is Harshit Rana being given a long rope? What is their plan regarding the superstars Rohit, Sharma, Virat, Kohli, or even Jasprit Bumrah? And what's the story behind a disgruntled Mohammad Shami? And while it's not possible to keep everyone happy and do the right thing by all, every decision that a selection committee and, of course, by that extension, the management takes needs to have one common purpose, a common goal in mind. This has to tie in with, of course, the long-time vision and goal for the national side. In case of the Indian men's cricket team here, that's multifold. The 2 World Cups across 2 formats that's coming up in back-to-back years, of course, is key. And then, of course, the World Test Championship that comes towards the end of this cycle, which is in 2027. And so the attempt has to be to make careful decisions that do not impact the road to these 3 milestone tournaments. Let's now first look at the bowling department here and the curious case of Jasprit Bumrah. Now he's an all-format player. He's key. So it becomes more imperative to review his schedule and availability. Now that this has become a prerogative considering his limitations regarding his physical fitness, the injury concerns. He's being made to sit out of the games against Australia in this ODI series after having just played the Test series against West Indies that recently concluded. So the question is, what's the understanding here? Why this is being done? Is it because of this? A spot in the World Test Championship final is critical because India missed out on the last time. So you'd rather use him now to help seal that and get as many wins under the belt. Which is why he's being made to sit out of a series against Australia, even though Australia is a very critical opposition. Maybe because the World Cup is what he has to eventually play. Now, if that's the case, then who is the management entrusting in being the stand-in leader of the attack in Jasprit Bumrah's absence? Especially when it was Mohammad Shami all along, right up to a very successful Champions Trophy campaign this year, barring out a few injury gaps. Now, the biggest drama unfolding, of course, is it seems to be these two different public viewpoints of Shami here and Agarkar, the chief of selectors, regarding this matter. Now, all of those comments by these two key players during this saga makes one thing certain, that all is not well between these two components, these two aspects, these two people and players in this drama, at least over the last few weeks. Now, while Agarkar, in his own defense, seems to have dealt with the situation in the best way he possibly could, why is the player in question here, Shami, reflecting something else? Now, R. Ashwin, who's never shied away from speaking his mind and who's recently retired from all formats of international cricket, had a point to make.
I will say one thing openly. Everything in Indian cricket runs on indirect talks. I really wish that it changes. Look at what Shami did. He performed and then talked in the press conference. Why is he talking all of this? Because he does not have clarity.
Clarity, transparency, words that are essential when you're running a national team. Everyone needs to know where they stand, especially if it's someone who, till not so long ago, was your pace spearhead alongside Jasprit Bumrah. And then, of course, there's the biggest elephant in the room, Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. What's at play here? Sympathetic last rites or a genuine attempt at seeing if they figure in India's future plans? Because one thing is sure, they want to play for the next 2 years, they want to play the 2027 World Cup. And then, of course, there's the Harshit Rana conundrum, which flows right out from when you look at what's happening with Mohammad Shami and Jasprit Bumrah, someone the head coach has been accused of bringing on board only because of bias, resulting in an enraged response from Gautam Gambhir himself. And the fact that Rana has not really set the stage on fire ever since he made his way into the Indian dressing room also doesn't help the cause, his case here in this matter. So there's a lot of unsettling talks and conversations that's already going about regarding these various decisions that's being made. So while India needs to focus definitely on the ODI series that's underway and aim to win the next game to level this series, the larger questions around the national side need to be acknowledged and addressed, at least internally. What's the goal here? How are players being managed? And is there a sense of transparency, at least in place when it's about communicating with the players involved? Can the management do any better? That has to be the question always and repeatedly so, because talent will come and go, personnel in every management will come and go, but a system stays. And an inept one at that can only create more problems than solve them. If there was ever any doubt that Pakistan's politics and cricket are inseparable, this week ended it once and for all, because after years of preaching that sports must rise above politics, the Pakistan Cricket Board has landed itself in one of its most damning controversies yet. Afghanistan has officially withdrawn from next month's T20 tri-series that's involving them, Pakistan and Sri Lanka, and the reason couldn't be more tragic. 3 Afghan domestic cricketers were killed in airstrikes allegedly carried out by Pakistan's military. And instead of acknowledging the human loss or even pausing to reflect upon it, the PCB's immediate concern was to announce a replacement team for the tri-series as if nothing had happened. This just exposes Pakistan's double standards all over again. Now, for Afghanistan, this wasn't a political decision, it was a deeply personal one. How could a nation, mourning the deaths of its own players, take the field against the very country accused of killing them? But here's the hypocrisy. Pakistan preaches sportsmanship when it suits them and politics when it doesn't. Because not too long ago, when a drone strike near Rawalpindi Stadium forced the PSL games, the Pakistan Super League matches, to pause, PCB chairman Mohsin Naqvi whined and blamed India for it.
The PCB has always stood by the position that politics and sports need to be kept apart. However, in view of extremely irresponsible and dangerous Indian act of targeting the Rawalpindi Cricket Stadium, I regret that our domestic audience will not be able to watch matches in Pakistan stadiums.
Back then, no players fortunately were harmed, although shook. Yet Naqvi called it an attack on cricket. Fast forward to today, 3 cricketers are actually dead, and the PCB's response, it's a bland announcement of Afghanistan's inability and the continuation of the tri-series irrespective. That's it. No mention of the deaths, no acknowledgement, nothing. Now, while the ICC, the BCCI and several cricket boards worldwide condemned the tragedy, Pakistan stayed silent, uncomfortably silent through it all. No reflection, no responsibility. This isn't about a cancelled cricket series anymore. It's about timing. It's about decency and values. 3 young Afghan cricketers dreaming, training and striving hard, all gone. For Afghanistan, cricket has always been more than a sport. It's been a ray of hope, a symbol of resilience in a country that's torn by conflict. Under Taliban rule, when music, education and movement here are restricted, cricket thrives. It gave Afghanistan a voice on the world stage, a sport that saw spirited performances against top nations like Australia, India and England. And this is where Pakistan's moral compass completely collapses, because for them, cricket isn't a bridge anymore, it's a distraction. A stage to deflect chaos, hide internal fractures and project normalcy. For years, Pakistan has cried foul, that India refuses to play bilateral cricket. They've played the victim card, painting themselves as the wronged party here. But when the shoe's on the other foot, when they are the ones who must show compassion, they shrug it off, replace a team and then just move on. Now the world is watching, and every time Pakistan accuses others of bias or sense of isolation, isolating them here, this moment will come back to haunt them, because you can't demand respect while refusing to show it yourself. You can't claim to uphold sportsmanship when you yourself let politics dictate every single decision. And maybe that's exactly why Pakistan cricket continues to spiral downward, because every controversy, every scandal, every blind decision exposes how deeply fractured the system truly is. Afghanistan's withdrawal is a statement that cricket cannot be used to whitewash blood, silence loss, or cover up political guilt. And until Pakistan understands this, they may keep playing cricket, but they'll keep losing every battle of it. Back in 2016, FIFA President Sepp Blatter called India a sleeping giant of football. But here we are, it's 2025, and the football world seems to be treating India like a sleeping audience. First, it was Lionel Messi's reported Kerala snub. Now, Cristiano Ronaldo has pulled out of Al Nassr's AFC Champions League 2 clash against FC Goa, 2 of the greatest footballers ever, both skipping India, at least one part of it in case of one, in just a matter of weeks. Do global football icons really value their Indian fans? That has to be the question here, because sure, Messi will still show up for the GOAT tour, the rest of it that is set to take place later this year. But the Kerala friendly between Argentina and Australia, which is supposed to be the real dream, a rare once-in-a-generation moment, now hangs by the balance. After 14 long years, for Indian fans to see Messi play live, it was going to be magical. Then, of course, came the heartbreak. The next one, Al Nassr confirmed Cristiano Ronaldo won't be travelling to Goa. It wasn't just another fixture, it was an emotional investment. Fans had, of course, booked flights, saved tickets, planned weekends ahead just to see their hero in person. And then, of course, silence, no official explanation, just another dream cancelled. Reports say FC Goa repeatedly urged Al Nassr to bring Ronaldo, but the request was rejected, possibly because of a contract clause, one that allows Ronaldo to choose which matches he plays outside of Saudi Arabia, and he chose not to play in India. Now, this isn't new. In 2023, Neymar missed Al Hilal's match against FC Mumbai. Ronaldinho skipped the Goa leg of Premier Futsal in 2016. Every single time, Indian fans get all hyped up, only to be let down. So let's ask frankly, are global football superstars and organisers taking Indian fans for granted? Yes, India isn't a football powerhouse. Not yet anyway. Our national team is still fighting for global recognition. But if there's one thing that makes India special, it's the sense of loyalty. The Messi versus Ronaldo rivalry lives here just as passionately as it does everywhere else in the world. And in the world's most populous country, that means millions of followers. And even the two superstars know that. Every jersey drop, every highlight reel, every post, it's Indian fans driving views, engagement and revenue. And yet, they are the ones constantly being left disappointed. But the blame doesn't lie only with the stars here. Many Indian event promoters rush to announce these mega fixtures before even securing proper contracts, security clearances or logistical approvals. They sell the hype way before reality dawns. That's exactly what happened with Messi's Kerala match, at least purportedly. For months, Kerala authorities pushed the match will go ahead. The organisers are still saying so at this point, but reports suggest the Argentine authorities were unhappy with the infrastructure on offer and the security arrangements that were set to take place. So, yes, fans deserve answers, but there's also a deeper problem here. The way we plan, market and manage big-ticket football events in India. It's time for a reality check here for both sides. India needs to professionalize its event planning and deliver world-class standards, and global superstars, well, they need to stop treating Indian commitments like charity appearances, because when Messi or Ronaldo skip India, it's not just tickets that go waste, it's the hope of millions, the hope of a country that's still waiting to wake up as the footballing giant the world once promised it could be. Time for last serve. Morocco is all set to co-host the 2030 FIFA Men's World Cup, but even before their senior side takes centre stage as hosts, the next generation has already shown the world what's coming up. Morocco's under-20 team has created history, defeating Argentina 2-0 to clinch the country's first ever football world title at any level. And the celebrations were electric. Crowds lining up the streets, fireworks all through the sky, and car horns blared in a symphony. Take a look. That wraps it up here on Firstpost. I'll see you again tomorrow. Till then, do take care. Bye-bye.